So now everything is working, well, at least compiling after refactoring this a little bit. Um, what else can we do? Well, the truth is that I feel a little bit uncomfortable about being able to mess up with the models, because right now I could pretty easily mm, take advantage of this payload and type and define a different type for a payload that does not match its type. And while the validations are going to detect that, it will be far better if we can avoid getting or retrieving this kind of payloads. So there are some details to take into consideration about this, because well, we can refactor everything so that the payload is parsed directly from the database, and that will be nice. The problem is that if we get the database corrupted for any reason, or we mess up with the data, with the data model, like for example, if I add an extra field right here, the database models won't be compatible with the model from Scala, and that's going to fail while loading the data from the database. So in order to do that or get something decent, what we can do is that the payload, when being read from the database, is always a JS value, because that's the only thing that we are for sure confident about. Or it could become an optional type, like option from paid job payload. And none of the solutions are actually perfect. Every solution has its own advantages and its own trade-off. So for now, I will leave this to be a JS value, and that's it. And so I'm going to leave this as the job type as well. I am not going to change it. I mean, there are some problems and we can improve it, but I don't want to worry about that right now. I need to get something working, and this is decent enough. So let's proceed to complete the refactor I was doing. In this particular case, what I need to do is this is not notification config. So if we go to the application.conf, we have notifications task. We can actually write a new entry. This is background jobs executor task. So this will be background jobs executor task. The task will run every time the period is fulfilled. So the initial delay is after 1 minute, and then it is continued to run every other minute. And now we need to also propagate such configuration. So let me go here and I will write a new class, which will be background jobs executor. Executor config, which is yet another copy from something related to notifications. So I am going to save some types, or well, some seconds. I'm going to rename this. This is background job notification config, and this seems that it makes sense now. So in order to load the configuration, I need to do something pretty similar to what's being done right here, which is go to the config module. This is a Wiz module for loading configuration, and I will just update this so that we load the background jobs executor config. So this returns background jobs executor config like this, and I also need to make sure that the application.conf entry actually matches what I'm loading right here. So it'll be this way. And now, given that I also have this, I can go to the task and replace this with the config itself. And this is the config that I care about. So this can be config interval. No more to do here. What other to do? Move to another file. We can configure the throttling mechanism too, but I don't want to do that right now. So I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. There should be nothing related to notification. Well, one import, Control Alt O, and it's gone now. Let me try compiling again. No complaints anymore. So then this seems to be work committing, and I have this right here. So let me, I have plenty of details to commit now. This makes sense, so this is going to go into the commit. I don't even know why I still have this value. This change, it doesn't really matter to whatever I am doing. These models are likely something that I modified for this PR. So let me just double check. Yes, they make sense. The module is what I just updated so that we load the configuration. Repositories, let me verify. I'm going to verify the repositories because there are several changes. Payload, to do is remove. Everything seems to make sense. I am aware that I required this file, and this file is also necessary, and this file was apparently was part of the refactor. I don't know where I still have this, but I will remove it, and I think that my commit now makes sense. Second useful commit message. Now everything has been committed. What's remaining to finally complete this task? Well, we are using a strategy for backwards compatibility, which is add the new stuff, then replace it. So this config does not really matter anymore because I'm going to replace the whole notifications by using this config. So what I need to do is notification config must go. So I will just remove it. That's it. No more notification config. This is going to complain. So I will just remove it. Then I have this task that is not required anymore. I will just remove it. The executor config. So I can organize imports. And now it's time to actually find what's not compiling and fix it. So we have the notification task. Notification task needs to be removed. Notification type needs to be removed too. So user notification, it's not necessary anymore. We have notification task. Notification task can be removed too. So I will go to the package from the tasks, then I'm going to remove it. And this is complaining that there are usages for the task, and I believe it's the module that is launching the task when the application starts. That's right. So it's removed from here, and now I can remove the task from here, and I can try compiling again. So this is because there are a data layer related to the notifications. So where shall I go now? This is complaining. Let's remove that. So let me go to repositories, and we have user notification repository. For sure all of this will likely fail. So is there anyone using this repository? Apparently I have an action, so I need send notification action, a string pending notifications forever action. This needs to go. User repository is being used by the test, only by the test, so that's fine. I will fix those later. Now I can go to the repositories. A user notification repository must go. This is being used somewhere else, but I don't care. I already checked it. And I also have user notifications DAO, which needs to go. It says to have some usages. I will delete it. I'm deleting. And at the package, there are likely notification. Yep. And here we have a model. This is notification status. It must go. Notification type. It must go. And then this one must go to, same as the user notification parser. So no more apparent errors right now. Let me check again. Now this is complaining about the send notification action. What is send notification action? Is anyone using this action? No, no one is using this action. So this one can go to. Okay, it compiles. That's cool. So let's try compiling the test. I know that there is the database components, or its repository is components. This one is using user notifications. It must go. There are others that also need to go. It's user notification repository spec. This one needs to go because we don't have this. This does not exist anymore. So delete it. What else? Now we're talking about repository spec, and this has user notifications, which must go to. They are gone now. We have the background job repository spec. Oh look, I forgot to update this test. So what is this failing with the notification for sure? So I will just create private background job payload. Send email, and then I will have email that trusted sample at wiringbits.net, subject test message, body, it works, something like this. Or I prefer to have multiple lines instead of having everything in a single line, but anyway, I'm not going to fight with the Scala format right now. So every place that I'm using the payload, I can just send this background job payload. I need to fix this, so I guess I can just use control replace, and if I replace everything, it will hopefully work. Let me try again. So there are a few responses that are still failing. User repository spec, user repository spec. This is complaining about the notifications. I'm not sure why this is called user notification repository spec. Copy pasted, I guess. Yep, right here. So this is not for that, this is background jobs. It must be like this. Let me try again. And this is finally compiling. So this is the time to actually test the integration. One last thing I forgot. Given that I have the notifications here, I can actually drop this table. Drop a table. These are now handled by the background jobs, something like this. I haven't run the test, but it will be worth to give it a try, just to make sure that everything is working as expected. And in the meantime, I will take an opportunity to do another commit while I'm waiting for the test to run. I know that I need to add these two. I also need to add the modules, I'm pretty sure. That I need to add a repository components too. This one, and this one. Final refactor. To drop user notifications table everything is replace it by background jobs. So this has failed. Why it has failed? Just complaining that something it's not the same. Well, yeah, because let me look into it real quick. Word simple case. We have our request. We have the background job payload, and then we are checking that the status is the status, and we are checking that this item payload, which is a JS value, is the same as the response. This is obviously not true because the types are totally different, and that's a problem, but I can easily fix it by encoding this to JSON like this, and the problem will likely occur in other places too, I guess. Yep. Must be like this. Organize imports, re-execute the tests, and while waiting, let me go back to add the change that I just did to fix the tests. Okay, tests are being executed right now. Now it will be nice to actually try this. So let's just make sure that the application is running. But in order to be able to do that, to make it fast, I actually need to update this to 10 seconds, because otherwise it will be too slow. So let me do localhost 9. It's docs index.html. Hit request. Why has this happened? Oh yeah, I know. It occurred to me because I have updated the evolution, the second evolution, this one, but before I had already actually executed the application with a different schema. When this happens and you are at development, the solution is pretty simple. I will just drop the database and create it again, and that's it. So let me do that. Drop database, Wiringbits DB, then create database, Wiringbits DB, which will likely fail because the connection is already used. So let me stop this. It was created. I need to connect and create the extension. Otherwise, it won't work. But now the database is completely empty. So let me go back and launch this. The application has now started. So in order to verify this, I had to create a user. It was where is create a new account. And then I get a token right here, which I need to use in order to confirm my email. In order to do that, I need to invoke the verify email endpoint, and I need to place the values similarly like before. The request has been executed successfully, verify user, and there is a task that must be running at the background. There you go, sending email to email@wiringbits.net, subject image has been confirmed. Then everything is working just as before, with the difference that we can now easily extend our code that we have over the background job. Executor task, we can pretty easily extend this executor in order to support other kind of tasks, and they will be executed by ACK streams. There is throttling the execution, but you can easily extend this to add more configuration options, say how many tasks you want to execute in parallel, etc, etc, etc. So this has been the longest video I have recorded so far, at least with the feature. I really hope that you have enjoyed and learned something from it. Thank you.